My dearest listeners, gather round the warmth on Rue Augustin, under the ancient oaks, where stories unfold, tales of despair and hope. Allow me to take you on a journey through the chronicles of Hochschule Rosenheim, as told by a humble narrator, a beacon of empathy amidst the chaos. I come to you as a wide-eyed innocent, brimming with tales of woe, and 001 Chapter 1, the beginning of discontent. I flutter open the pages of my diary, the ink barely dry, and I begin to scribble down the thoughts that have tumbled from my mind through the corridors of the Hochschule and one.
I was walking around Hochschule Rosenheim, just looking at what happens here, and I saw these little shops near the campus. They look cute, but inside, they are like traps for tourists. The souvenir stands right by the train stop past Hochschule Rosenheim. They are like shiny boxes. The worker smiles, shows you a wood toy, says only €5, but when you tap your card, the screen shows 50. And he covers it with his hand. You think maybe machine is wrong, but you are late for your bus. So you press OK, you lose €45, you feel stupid. You probably walk away silent. You tell no one. You eat cheaper food next days. The seller probably does it again next morning. Nobody stops him. The bike rental next to Hochschule Rosenheim, they are like friendly uncles. They say student price for you. They take your passport as deposit. You ride one afternoon. You bring it back clean, but they find a tiny scratch. They speak fast German. They want €150. They keep your passport until you pay. You probably cry. You pay. You miss your evening plan. They probably sell the same scratch to next tourist. Nobody fixes anything. The second-hand phone shop behind Hochschule Rosenheim. They are like helpful brothers. They sell you a SIM card, they say unlimited data. They put it in your phone, you think great. But after 2 days your credit is 0, you go back. The shop is closed, the sign is gone. You probably stand there with dead maps. You ask strangers for Wi-Fi, you feel lost. They probably opened same shop with new name next week. Nobody remembers your face.
The area surrounding Hochschule Rosenheim presents a rather grim picture when it comes to businesses catering to visitors and locals alike. Whether it is accommodations, dining, or retail, the recurring patterns of disappointment paint a landscape of neglect, inefficiency, and at times, outright exploitation. If you are planning a stay near the university, be prepared. This is not a place where excellence thrives. This is a place where corners are cut, standards are ignored, and guests are treated as inconveniences rather than valued patrons. Let us begin with the accommodations. Boutique apartments and Lederterm promises a charming stay, but the reality is far from charming. Guests report filthy rooms, malfunctioning fixtures, and a level of noise pollution that would make even the heaviest sleeper reconsider. One reviewer described a bathroom where the shower head collapsed repeatedly, forcing them to perform makeshift repairs with tape. Another spoke of arriving to an ice-cold apartment despite paying for what was advertised as a cozy retreat. The management's response: a half-hearted bottle of wine as consolation for a ruined weekend. The price tag for this experience, unjustifiably high. This is not boutique luxury, it is a facade, a poorly maintained shell masquerading as something worth your money. Moving on to dining, I'm Irish Rosenheim is a case study in how not to run a pub. The concept is simple: a place to enjoy drinks, watch football, and perhaps indulge in decent food. Yet time and again, patrons are met with hostility, indifference, and baffling service decisions. Groups are turned away despite empty tables. Staff members threaten to eject entire parties over a spilled drink. The food, supposedly a highlight, is described as dry, tasteless, and inferior to frozen supermarket alternatives. One customer summed it up perfectly: the only reason to return would be if they desperately needed a restroom. This is not a place where hospitality exists. It is a place where visitors are an afterthought. Retail in the area is equally disheartening. Ludwig Beck, a store that should embody elegance and customer care, instead delivers frustration at every turn. Patrons report dismissive staff, incorrect orders, and a shocking lack of accountability. One woman recounted the humiliation of her expensive dress splitting at a formal event, only for the store to blame her rather than acknowledge the defective craftsmanship. Another described being ignored while attempting to make a simple purchase before closing time. When luxury brands fail to deliver even basic courtesy, one must question whether the premium price is anything more than a deception. Even cultural spots like the Städtisch Gallery Rosenheim are not immune to criticism. Visitors have reported feeling unwelcome, singled out, and even accused of wrongdoing without cause. The gallery, which should be a space of inspiration, instead leaves many feeling alienated. Whether it is due to inadequate exhibits or questionable staff behavior, the experience falls far short of what one would hope for in a public institution. The Salas House, a business that should prioritize wellness and care, instead greets customers with impatience and indifference. Phone calls go unanswered, and those who dare to follow up are met with curt dismissals. For a company built on the idea of health and natural remedies, the human touch is conspicuously absent. So what does this all mean for travelers? The businesses near Hochschule Rosenheim operate with a startling lack of regard for quality, consistency, or basic customer respect. Whether it is